All right, you guys should be able to hear me. Move this over here. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer, and essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And the whole idea, oh, excuse me, of being emotionally and mentally balanced is for you to attain your highest state of understanding or of consciousness. It's for you to become the Christ, the Krishna, the Buddha, goes by so many different names. But what those technically represents, those are embodiment of that highest state of consciousness, of that self mastery in person, personified, pretty much, if you want to put it that way. So ultimately, that's the goal, right? However, there are processes, there's a way to get there, and that's when, becoming emotionally and mentally balance comes in, because, it's the whole idea of mind, body, and soul. Once they come in alignment, now you have a broader perspective. Let's just say if you're someone who only think from your logic or your rationale, if that's the only thing you take under consideration, then you become the whole movie. What was it called? Judge Dredd, if I'm not mistaken. That whole idea was pretty much, you don't, what I'm saying, you're only dealing with the external, meaning you're only looking at things from a masculine perspective, from logic. Then what happens there is that you become one-sided. That's when you become rigid, whatever the fuck. But if you were to add a little bit of emotion to it, it would soften it up a little bit. It would expand. It would, instead of you looking at it from one perspective, then now you'll be able to look at it from two, I mean, from all perspective. Now you could have a better understanding. Just like we all know, for instance, you know how you say when motherfuckers are in love, they're not thinking right. So, and here's something else too. That's why that emotional side of you has to come together with your mental. Do you see how, like, I mean, it all makes sense. And that's another way of saying too. That's why you must embrace all part of you. That's what embracing yourself is. As you embrace matter, and that's when it doesn't matter. But anyway, so when I'm talking about being, let's just say, emotionally balanced, what I'm referring to here is you understanding how your what emotions are. Then you would also have to understand your emotional patterns and why not to create them. Because ultimately, the goal is for you to master it, to become emotionally balanced. It's to make your emotions yours at all times. But for you to do that, you have to understand how it works. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You have to grasp it. Now, in addition to that, to become mentally balanced, the same underlining point, I mean, remains here in terms of you have to understand how your mind works. And you also got to understand how your mind's been conditioned to think. In other words, you would have to be more conscious, more aware of you in general and your environment. Like to be mentally balanced, like someone else cannot be in control of your mind. And how would you have control of your own mind if somebody else is controlling your mind? It simply doesn't work. Well, the self mastery part, I mean, there's no self mastery at all. So, for you to understand how your mind's been trained to think, well, you got to take a look at culture. You got to take a look at everything that you are embracing, that you embrace, everything that you come in contact with. That's why I always tell people your humanity is your spirituality. Your spirituality is your humanity. That's why the words has to be made flesh. But most importantly, that's why you got to be in active service to the divine, to the self. But anyway, so becoming mentally balanced to become to become more, to have more self-awareness, it entails pretty much a lot of consciousness. You have to be, aware of your environment, be more conscious of yourself. That's pretty much what it is. And by you becoming more conscious of yourself, and that's how now you can master yourself. Because now, and that's what, when you have something called the Kabbalion, and which I recommend to everybody. It's on YouTube. It's free. You could get that free PDF. It tells you about the seven hermetic principles, and the whole objective of that is to help you to master yourself. The all is mental. This is all referring to you. Everything is all mental. Your environment, how you look at it, how you process it. It doesn't matter. There's gonna be a mental aspect of it, no matter how you want to dissect it. And even when I acknowledge there's a greater God, I'm still agreeing to that. Let's not make a mistake here. There's no decision that's being made that's not from you, whether you're conscious of it or not. It's coming out of you, baby. You know what I'm saying? And the difference is now when you're becoming spiritual, now you have activated, you start to acknowledge that aspect of yourself. That's when now you understand there is more to you than just, like, than what the eyes can see. Now, if you're coming back, you already know. You know what I'm saying? But just to summarize, I guess, real quick, essentially that's what I do. I help you to become mentally and emotionally balanced, and but also showing you the complexity in the process itself, and also by helping. Hopefully, you get to see the complexity in you as well, and that's what we say, that we are more than what we look like, and that's what makes you a living mind, and that's what makes you spirit. But anyway, welcome back, niggas. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Mm. It's good to have you guys back. It's always a pleasure. You already know exactly what we do here. It's always, what I'm saying, I'm always going to give you myself, as the sacrificial lamb. I had a whole recording that I did on that, and then, the whole thing stopped. So I'm still going to drop it. Because that one particular recording was just speaking for itself, and I'm not even gonna try to match it. I'm gonna let it does. I'm gonna let it do its numbers pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna match that. We're taking this on a whole different frequency over here. All right, that's what we did. You'll get to see it too. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, welcome back, motherfuckers. You see, only you motherfuckers, you triggered me. You see how much I love you? You know, I love you so much, motherfuckers. Like, y'all triggered me, you know what I'm saying, to a past recording now, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my feelings. Yo, it's good to have you motherfuckers back, man. That's all I'm trying to say, baby. And you know, I'm always gonna make a scene too. But that's how much that's how appreciated you are. You see what I'm saying? That's how appreciated you are, man. Shit, you know what I'm saying? That's for you, baby. It's all yours. It's all for you. Now, as you guys know, this is the part of the routine where, well, welcome back. You guys already know, man. Come on, stop playing, stop playing. Um, Now, I always like, especially if this is your first time, even if it's not, but I like to emphasize because everything I talk about derived from spirituality. So therefore, I mean, it's only right, that, we talk about spirituality just a little bit, right? Because that's the foundation of, everything of my logic pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's where, what I'm saying, I got my shit from. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I gotta let you know. So now, when we talking about spirituality, we simply say it's you. It's, it's the story of your true nature. And it's being said at different levels, but a lot of us, when it comes to spirituality, we always tend to dissociate ourselves from it. And that's one of the biggest misconception because you were never taught to look at yourself for who you are. So therefore your understanding of yourself pretty much your consciousness remains in just the physical appearances. Translation, you lost in the sauce, nigga. Translations, you just lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Because now, and the whole idea behind that is that we have created a world where people are living based on who they should be, not on who they are. That's why everybody has a certain image. So this is the world of just the fakes. Everybody's got to be fake. If you don't know what you love, you're not following your passion. You fake, man. Like a motherfucker. You fake. See, Tyrone, Ben clone niggas. If you're just now figuring out that Tyrone is clone, you might be clone, nigga. So I'm just saying. The minute you separate from the self, that's the abyss in itself. See, that's what you need to realign to. I mean, with. But now I'm saying all of that to say, like one of the biggest misconception, if you don't even see like yourself as a little more than what it appears to be, yeah, like this is tough. So you're really not in tune with 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 your with a deeper side of you. So meaning you're living a life out of ignorance. So the reason why a lot of people look at spirituality as being outside of them is out of ignorance. Or better yet, you may have a certain interpretation of what spirituality is. How you got how certain people dress up, they must be in spirituality. Nigga with the fucking cloth like wrapped around their asses and shit, that nigga gotta be spiritual as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know, another like judgmental way of looking at it, like a limited perspective. Or you know what I'm saying? But the underlying thing is it's still outside of you. But now instead of being totally clueless of that shit being outside of you, now you point at it right there. Yeah, it's right there. And all of it is out of ignorance. Because all spirituality is it's just a deeper understanding of you. It's just your life. Now in spirituality, you there's something called the occult, or those sacred texts, the hermetics. You'll see there's a lot of confinements in these things. They're always closed up. And the idea is never to say that it's not open to the public, but the idea is to let you know, listen, this is a sacred knowledge, meaning you want this shit, you got to go look for it. You have to go in. You got to become. It's an inward journey. That's why this is for the devoted ones. You know, you got to become. You listen, man. This has got to be an active duty for you. If you up, I mean, you can't halfway up. It's a full time job, and that's what being conscious is. Pretty much. But now going back to spirituality, then when you start now, when you're dealing with the occult now with those sacred texts, it's helping you to have now those manuals, like as I like to call them, are there to give you a deeper understanding of who you are. In other words, it's to help you to pass, to see past this reality that you're looking at. Is that air you breathing? Is it? Do you see what I'm saying? Yet again, even if you understand your environment alone, that's why we're living in a fucking electromagnetic field. Why do you think your Wi-Fi is working? The fuck, those signals, all this shit's taking place around us. What the fuck is this shit? Even when we're talking about fucking electricity, it's all around you. These niggas are just having a deeper understanding of nature around them, and that's what we had in fucking Africa. That's what we understood. And that's what I'm saying, and that's what true spirituality truly is about in terms of knowing who you are. But even if you're ignorant, nigga, it doesn't mean you're not, it doesn't take away the spirit from you. You're just not active. That's why your purpose is to attain the highest state of consciousness. Everybody's conscious to a level, but to become the Christ light, now that's different. That's where your work comes in. That's when you got to become or remember to become a member again. That active duty, man. You know what I'm saying? You becoming the devoted one, it's a must. That's the word let's travel. That's the word to yourself. That's why you cannot serve two gods. If you choose to leave your reality, And that's what we're going to be talking about here too. When we talk about consciousness through inertia or active service, man. Because either way, you're still experiencing it. I mean, that's why I mean they are all gods too, man. That's why we say namaste to them. That's why we have compassion for them. The people are perishing due to ignorance. That's why we forgive them too. And that's that understanding. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what these niggas do when the monks are saying namaste. They say it to niggas who not conscious. I mean, if you're conscious too, of course. I mean, shit, you already know. This not this is the meeting of the mind. But either way, it's still happening though. You know, but we are not that's the highest state of consciousness too. That's why again, like I always tell people, like to become truly spiritual is to be the best human being ever. Not because you're trying to act a certain way to please other people. You know what I'm saying? But you have compassion. It derives from your inner self. You do the right thing, not to, hey, hey, not for validation, but because of your integrity. And those are pretty much some of the fruit of the spirit as they mention them, I guess, in the Bible. But it all comes with you being in alignment with you. Again, that's what the occult is dealing with. That's what those sacred texts are there to teach you. It's to give you a deeper understanding of your ordinary motherfucking reality. And that's how you bypass this reality. In other words, they're helping you to bypass it, not by refuting it, but by having a deeper understanding of it. You got to go through it to go over it or to transcend it. There's no other way around. Otherwise, you're rejecting it. You're just pushing it back. That's all you're doing. So when we talk about consciousness through inertia, this is you not changing, not active. You're not being part of God. You're just in the sideline. I'm saying you're not active at all, man. Chucky, is it? I had a couple of Chuckies, man. Listen, man, because Chucky was small. He never grew. It was a bitter little kid. And what the fuck was Chucky doing? It was killing motherfuckers. This little monster. And that's why you got to do your shadow work too. Saying that little baby became so bitter. And ironically, this is the psychological of a lot of criminals. Oh, you're surrounded by fucking criminals. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, I have experienced a few things myself that allows me to tap into their social fucking crazy mentality, and I'm like, oh shit. I guess just like they say, you got to become them too. Or like I become them not by acting like them, but by being able to relate and truly understanding them. I guess that's what makes me a psychic too. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that also comes with a level of consciousness as well. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say, Chucky, you gotta watch out for Chucky, niggas. Fuck come after you. My little bitter baby. You know what I'm saying? Well, we ain't scared of Chucky's over here, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chucky, you got that little thing. I know you small. You pretty much maneuver. But nigga, I crush you. Chucky, crushing you. Fuck. Put you in my backyard, nigga. Put you in my fucking backyard, nigga. Going back to excuse me, guys. I was having a moment. I was having a personal, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm. But anyway, going back now to spirituality. So it's nothing but you, man. This is your story, and it's being said in so many different ways. It's being said, let's just say, in different perspectives, but ultimately the whole goal behind, how these things are being reflected, either by, let's just say, Hinduism, Kemet, and all this shit, but you always see the connection in all of them. And this is also to show you too, consciousness is not to be seen in just one way. It cannot be one-sided either. That's why the true spiritual master will embrace all of it. I see God everywhere. And if it's not, I'll put him there. Put him there. It's my perspective, isn't it not? And again, and this is also revealing your true nature as an active living being, spirit, energy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the bottom line here, I mean, I guess we can agree to disagree. At least there's more to us than what we appears to be. So if you're a little bit conscious, I mean, at least, dog, you know what I'm saying? That should be the minimum. You know what I mean? Same. You think? No? Okay, okay. That's not the way you look at it. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, now with all of that being said, now we're gonna delve into, pretty much just to summarize real quick, spirituality is your life, right? Then you have the occult, you know, eh, you know, when you talk about those, let's just say, mystery schools, those sacred knowledge, all they're truly doing is, again, it's, yeah, those mystery whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's truly revealing your true nature to you. Even when we talk about magic, even magic in itself is showing you even the object around you are more than what they look like. You know what I'm saying? It's all portion, it's all energy. That's why you could, mix up cinnamon with this, you put this with that, if that's what you're looking for. See, even in terms of looking at it, let's just say, as cinnamon, you don't see the energy. But that's what you do when you're doing, depending on what type of magic you're doing, whatever the fuck. But the bottom line here is to show you again, you're living in a world that is more than what it appears to be. It's more than what it looks like. And like I always tell people, and I really love the term that the Kabbalah use to describe your current science. They call it the material science. Now you have something called the material science or the science as you know it. That is the most, and that science is based out of studying the external, meaning it's all experiences, it's dealing with the external cause and effect to a certain, I mean, aspect, that's what they worry about. That's why, you know what I'm saying, they don't fuck with spirituality, although it is, spirituality is everywhere, baby. You can't get rid of it. But anyway, now that science now is telling you through quantum physics that matter, the shit that you touching, feeling, drinking out of, smoking, this shit here, I want you to picture it, is nothing but condensed energy. So that's like having the most logical nigga telling you the most illogical shit ever. And that should blow your fucking mind off. Like, whoa, wait, what did he just say? To be honest with you, that should have been your reaction. Even so, it's just to show you too. That's why a lot of you don't even see what's in. No, man. Come on, baby. We just got to do better. We got to do better. Hey, come on. You know what I'm saying? You got to kick your ass in the butt, baby. You know what I'm saying? In the butt. You got to do better. But a lot of that too is going according to plans because how do you become conscious of your current environment if you're not conscious of yourself? Do you understand why people follow trend? That's why people become part of the trend. That's what the representation of the collective consciousness is. They all think the same. Well, guess what? They were trained to think all the same. It's not a fucking coincidence. That's why you're keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, you know what I'm saying, a competitive market. Always gotta, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about powers, is domination. That whole world makes sense. You have created that's the tree that you're eating out of. And that's the tree of good and evil. You always have something good against something bad. That's the foundation of that world. Nothing comes together, but there's a constant fight. Nature versus man and all that shit. Meanwhile, you are nature, but that requires a little more understanding of you. So again, knowing that's why knowing who you are will set you free. That's what it sets you free from those preconditioned or those closed-minded mentality, or even from you know from rejecting yourself or to position yourself at such a low level. That's what it presents you from. That's your transcendence. A lot of you niggas on heavy over here, man. Come on, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta transcend, man. You gotta stay in between, baby. The yin and the yang, the harmony, and all that. But anyway, all of that being said, let's delve into what we came here to talk about. Well, in so many words, we are already talking about it too. So now, because now pretty much what it comes down to, because it can also go that route, is the tree good and evil versus the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? Or the tree of eternal life. Well, that is the tree of life. Now we're talking about a different type of consciousness. This is you experiencing life from an active duty perspective, from active service, from you becoming the devoted ones. So then, if that's how you choose to, if that's the path you're walking on, and this is the one I'm invited you to, well, listen, man, it's transformational. This is you elevate by the second. You are radiating from that perspective. That's how now you're able to set yourself free. And as you are in the creator is also in you. So you can either experience it that way, but also that way too. It comes. That's the quality way of looking at it. Quality meaning you dealing with the inherent qualities of life, meaning you seeing shit through the veil. And that's why the Indian called this Maya, and I love the term that they use. But unfortunately, I see how confusing that term could be for a lot of people. So they call this world a world of illusion, Maya, meaning, well, I should say they call it Maya, which means illusion. But a lot of us don't understand what fucking illusion is. Illusion doesn't mean it's not real. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say it's not real because when you see a magic trick, do you say it's not real or do you say, nah, I mean, not real or not, it's not even relevant. You simply know, this nigga did something, man. That's what we call it tricks or magic tricks. So, in other words, when you come see this nigga's gonna give you the biggest tricks ever. You know what I'm saying? So, but you automatically know it's not what it appears to be. And that's what your life is on earth. It's not what it appears to be. Everything about you, the more conscious you become. That's why when even in a fucking relationship, it's not just dick and pussy. Even in that, that's why relationships are so fucking complicated. Because you're dealing with somebody. Let's just say you're dealing with that person, either culture or shadow work too, or shadow self as well. Meaning the way they were brought up, their fucking disappointments. You know what I'm saying? That's why for this shit to be healthy, both parties have to do their fucking shadow work. So even us talking about this is showing you there's more to you than just you appear to be. Then on top of it, if you want to talk about, gender, masculinity, and femininity, I mean, again, it's showing you more to what you appear to be. And your experience, your level of understanding about this life, well, you would have a different reality, meaning this life would have a different meaning to you. Karma could be a bitch, or karma could be your bitch. Karma can be a bitch, or karma can be your bitch. That's why it all comes down to how you're looking at it. But either way, the experience is there. It's either you experience it through inertia, and I'm sharing the reality with you through an active service. Namaste, motherfucker. Saying namaste, motherfucker. See, but you also have to understand anytime, because I also notice even in spirituality, it's almost like, you have one type of consciousness, which is based out of the European understanding, that is the consciousness that says, and that is one sided. Meaning, for you to be more spiritual, you have to reject your body more. To master yourself is pretty much it's to understand that your body doesn't have some sort of equal value with your intellect. So for them to attain consciousness, they have to suppress material. That's the whole European perspective of what spirituality is, which is so limited, so one sided, and it's being done in different levels. From a religious perspective, then behavior becomes. Do you see what I'm saying? It's more. It has become. You know what I'm saying? That's why sex is not talked about, or your body. You got to suppress the body. So dancing wouldn't be part of expressing who you are, and that's what makes it one-sided. This is crazy. Dancing in itself. That's why in African spirituality, dancing plays a big fucking part because dancing it everything about you spiritual nigga. Even in the Bible, didn't what that nigga did? David, was it David? The nigga was dancing for God. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So that's why their consciousness is one-sided, but they are experiencing consciousness from a one-sided perspective. You know what I'm saying? They don't see it from being active in their life. Then you also have your philosophers too. All of these motherfuckers, they have a level of consciousness too. But the way they look at life is so limited, they don't see it from all perspective. So they're looking at it from fucking inertia. You know what I'm saying? From a very, I mean, it's a higher perspective, and how can I say that? It's like it's the best of the dumbest. I mean, it's the best of the dumbs. I mean, I don't know how can I phrase this. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter because you don't see the full picture, but they get to see a little bit more. Let's just say, um, it's almost like these niggas are saying, okay, let's just say, the Catholic religion, right? So the nun, the priest, they decided to suppress sex because, when you separate from sex, ideally speaking, you know what I'm saying, you could do God service better. You become more dedicated because that's what this is trying to say. And that conception was also from as a fucking African perspective. The only difference was we were doing a lot of fucking. You know what I'm saying? If you're a priest, you already know niggas got tons of bitches. But yet still doing God's work, meaning God work was always prevailing. It was the first thing, and the women also understood that. But nevertheless, the conception in itself is just trying to tell you, they are suppressing certain aspect of who they are. And now you have the New Age, which is a higher perspective of that. Now saying, you see, if you see, man, You suppressing the body. I just say I skip the body altogether. Fuck the body. Does that make sense? But it all stemmed from a duality perspective. Then that's when they tell you about spirituality, spirituality can never be attached or even near, not even close by fucking humanity, yeah, nigga. Because your understanding of humanity is taking shit, is let's just say niggas looking for career and all that shit, which is it's not a refined understanding of the reality that's in front of because they looking at it sideways again. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to stare at it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Versus again, so this is all part of consciousness too. The biggest thing, you know what I'm saying, the universe, it's either now you wake up to it, you become part of it through your active now. This is when you become the creator as well. This is when now you're not talking about Jesus. You are living like Jesus. What's the point of you being a Christian if you're not living like Jesus? You're about mouthing people, or you know what I'm saying, you're living for the Joneses, you're looking for other people validation. Was that Jesus, something Jesus was doing? You're not even acting like him. It's such a disappointment. Like, at least, man, that's why this nigga said, if you love me, keep my fucking commitments. At least try to act like the nigga if you're saying you love the motherfucker. Jesus Christ. I don't get it. The words got to be made flesh, man. Like, how else can the nigga say that shit? Hey, you dare to judge me, nigga? Voodoo child, nigga. I'm a voodoo child, nigga. You feel me? Fuck out of here, man. It's just doing that. It's just realigning yourself, baby. And when you have guys like Dr. Lila Africa, first of all, I gotta shout out this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the God. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of those African teaching spiritual masters are trying to do is get you to have a different perspective on life. Appreciate your food, understand you have a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Help you to become a little more conscious of the reality that's around you, becoming more aware with it. That's the idea of you praying over your food, man. Why are you praying over your food for? Yeah, but it's also some sort of connection with you and the food. In African spirituality, the sun is our brothers, man. It's my brother. So I saw the sun. What's up, brother? Thank you for keeping me warm, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's the moon. What's up, sis? You know what I mean? Same shit. Ho. Come on. And that stems from having a deeper understanding of who you are. Even when we talk about metaphysics, right? So you talking about the laws, physics and nature, right? But the term meta saying how it transcends. That's why you could see those same qualities in your life too. Anybody, you only reap what you sow, baby. Isn't that the same in fucking nature? Or is the same in your life? Come on, man. If you acting stupid, you play stupid game. What do you think? fuck you think you're gonna get? You know what I'm saying? Like the way that, like, just like Dr. Lala Africa always used to say, you know what I'm saying? You practice stupidity, bro. You do it every fucking day. Now, you may not be, I mean, obviously, a lot of us are not conscious of it. That doesn't mean you're not doing it just because you're not conscious of it. You just don't want to take accountability for your actions. That's all that is. And that's all of these Chuckies are doing out here. Acting like motherfucking babies, and then they just killing people. You know what I'm saying, Chucky? And not over here, monster. Got your number, motherfuckers. Mm, nah. Mm-mm. Come on, man. You can't stop the shine, nigga. They shining out here, man. This fucking eclipse. Mm. Y'all niggas don't understand. But sooner or later, though, that reflection, it's gonna tone down on you, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's gonna catch up to you without you even knowing. Oh, the worst is yet to come. It's yet to come. And the shit that I've seen, bro. Mm, 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 mm. You know, it's the quality in how it's how you're looking at things. And you know, once you're not, if you're not in alignment with yourself, you know, that's when you automatically lost. This is a game over before I even started. Like, what's your decision, right or left? The minute you went left, I mean, you already lost. I don't think you understand. Now you're understanding why you lost. You were lost before you even knew you were lost. That's why you got to pick your fight, nigga. You got to choose your opponents. How you doing? You got to pick your fights wisely, man. You got to pick your fights. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're trying to be a bully, right? There's certain kids when you see that, stay away from the little kids. You see by themselves. Go bully everybody else. Be a small bully, bully. But you're not even that smart. Your nature doesn't allow you to even think. So now you're gonna bully the little kid that you think that's by itself. And little do you know that little kid was never by himself. This is where we're saying, Haiti, you beat on the dog. Now you gotta wait for its master, man. Oh, the master's gonna come looking for you. You bully the one kid, nigga. You mean to tell me you entitled to everything in the world, and the one thing you feel entitled to does not belong to you? No ship and form. You know what I'm saying? Like wrong shoes. It's fucking up your whole feet. You still don't get it. You ask for another shoe in that same size. It's not your size, man. Why you keep trying different shoes? It's not your number. You'll get it later. You'll get it later. You know what I'm saying? The hard headed always got to see it. They got to see it to believe it. Oh well, that's your choice. So now understanding, that's why you want to experience consciousness or the Christ as a living experience. See, at least if you're acting like Jesus, your behavior would be like him. Your speech would be like him. He even said that shit. I'm not making this shit up. So what this is telling you, that's why I always tell people, it means you got to deal with Christ from a non-physical perspective. You got to deal with the energy. Only when you deal with it from a fucking energy perspective can now you become him and he becomes you through an active service. I mean, how do you become conscious if I don't know if you're not living it? What are you conscious of? You know what I'm saying? What are you conscious of? And so is your nature. We learn so we could have a direct experience with that knowledge. That's what makes us wise. You mean to tell me you're gonna have knowledge to be a stupid motherfucker? Or even to sound good, nigga? I mean, shit, I'm gonna sound good regardless, but how do you fake that? This has gotta be your life. You just wanna be dumb? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's not even an option. Obviously, it is, but I mean, if you are to experience it, so again, I'm just also showing you when it comes to experience, this. Well, I mean, it all comes down to how you're looking at it, man. Are you eating from the tree of good and evil? Because a lot of these Christians too, they are experiencing certain type of consciousness. Oh, this is what my Jesus did for me. This is all that. There's a level of it too. Although they're doing it through most of them, acting a certain way or having a mask, that's also their fucking experience. Now, I'm not sure how liberating that is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the part. It's not, in fact, it's not liberating at all. But that's a different perspective. I mean, not well. I mean, it could be. Well, I mean, shit. That's just a different. I mean, that's another conversation. That would be more of another conversation. But okay, you're not becoming more of a version of you because the whole part of becoming conscious is like the more you change, the more you realize you don't change. The more you're changing, the more you realize you don't. I mean, you have that constant paradox that you're going through, but yet again, you know that you change because, but you also know that you didn't change, and you embrace both sides of it. No fights, there's no conflicts. I mean, it's all in fucking harmony. I mean, you acknowledge you changing because there's something that was added to you, but you also would recognize that you were open to receive it. in so many ways. That's what makes you, part when people are talking about being the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Then now, when you start having that type of understanding about your reality, then you understand. That's why it makes it a fucking illusion. You got to look through it. But anyway, I'm gonna stop it here. You guys already know Aisha.